Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And I start today with what happens. Yeah, and I'm laughing. Seriously, I am. I'm laughing. You're probably going to laugh too. Anyway, I managed to make one project for today, and I'm going to tell you why. I've got on my house, I have a white vinyl roof. We had that fitted because apparently you're supposed to save money on AC bills because it kind of like deflects the heat from the sun back into the sky. So anyway, very nice white vinyl roof we've got. It's almost like rubber tyres, but it's white. And you get pollen in the spring. So I'm already laughing. And I decided I don't really like the pollen on my roof, and I couldn't reach with the jet wash, so I decided to get up the ladder and go onto the roof. So anyway, I'm scrubbing away with my little soft broom trying to get all the pollen off this vinyl roof, and as usual I was wearing my flip-flops. I kid you not, I sailed off the edge of the roof and I landed not on the ground, which would have been really serious, but on top of my rose arch. I can't stop laughing about it. I'm just sitting there in amongst 30 foot of rambling roses. Yes, I am. They climbed all over the arch, and I am so lucky. I have got really, really badly scratched legs, but I only got that on my wrist. That's all I got, where I went crashing into the rose arch. But if you look at that, my knuckles have almost vanished because I was clinging on for dear life, and I've got to tell you, my hand really, really hurts. Oh, but it was so funny. I'm telling you, whatever you do, don't ever get on a vinyl roof that's wet and soapy in flip-flops, not unless you want to go surfing. Oh, and I just about missed the edge of the gutter too, but I was just sitting there, perched on top of my rose arch, 8 foot up in the air, and I'm so glad it was my husband that built it, because it's built out of wood. But seriously, if you'd have seen it, you would have cried laughing. I'm telling you, you really would have cried. Oh, some of the stuff that I get up to. Oh, I'm telling you, I was really, really bad. I was a very naughty little girl when I was young. I used to go to all the scrap yards and I used to find all the old wooden doors that are probably painted with lead paint in those days. And I used to take them down to the local river and just throw them in. And then I'd launch myself onto them because it was my raft. And off I'd go sailing down the river, you know, sitting in the middle of a door, using my hands to kind of like try and get as far down the river as I could, and I would always fall in. Oh, dearie me. I spent months and months on kaolin and morphine because what I didn't know was that all of the slurry that was in those days that used to come as the waste from the hospitals, which was basically everything, used to get thrown into that river, and there I was, you know, falling off my door, landing in it, drinking the water. So I was quite poorly. So yeah, you know, that's a brief little of what kind of a little girl I was. And April Fools, I've got to tell you about April Fools, because I got those, what you call them, decoy alligator heads, and they look real. They really do look real. So I threw a couple into the ponds, because I've got a very big pond here in the garden. And my hubby came home from work and I said, "What's that over there in the water?" And he looked, and then he did a double take. He tried to get a little bit closer, and because they look real, he's like, "Oh my God." He came flying into the house for the shotgun, and he's out there destroying plastic in the pond. Oh, sometimes I think my dogs need adopting because they must think I'm absolutely insane. But anyway, I managed to make a project, and I did the cute cut because a few people had asked for this one. But I'm going to put my hands now into a bag of frozen peas or something and try and get the ache out of my knuckles because it really hurts. And I did do this one. So I'm just going to slide it up there and not move it around so that you can have a look. But it's really, really cute. Probably would have looked even nicer on a white vinyl roof. And I've used some of my sparkly gems up here. Now, if you look at the website, you'll see that there's like little brown dots there, and it's quite autumnal in its appearance. But I kind of, wanted to throw a little bit of pink in there to lighten the mood a bit. And as usual, there is no sentiment there because I'm going to be giving this one away, and I just like people to be able to do what they want to do. So I am going to measure it. So, getting my one good hand. Oh, my hand is actually shaking a bit. And I am going to say made according to the website. I'm going to be a little bit generous and say 4¼ inches, because you could have these little, I don't know what you call those, little swirly cookie things. You could have them a little bit taller if you wanted to. And then the width of the cup, because it kind of like flutes out a bit, I'm going to go here and then to the handle and say you're going to need a card that is 3 inches. But anyway, so that's what happens. Yeah, whatever you do, do not get onto a vinyl roof in flip-flops and put soap and water on it. And it's a I've got to say it, it's a pitched roof too. Quite literally a slope to the gutter. But if ever I'd have landed in one of my flower beds, which is like timber all around and a few garden canes in it, what an absolute disaster that would have been. But I just slid down and just landed on top of the rose arch. So there I sat. And very carefully, got all my clothes and everything unstuck from all the thorns, and managed to get down. Yeah, so I've done one project, and I do apologise. Right, I thank you so much for watching. Yes, me and my insanity. I hope you have an absolutely awesome day. Stay off the roof, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.